Coming from the mind of mine with your host Dizzy Dom.
All right, so today is the day. Every day you wake up is a good day. So let's start with that. Diz and here today to talk about you know it's been a busy month of birthdays for me this week. This month, it was my ex's birthday recently on the 5th, and then the 4th, of course, was America's birthday, and then the first was my mother's birthday. I lost my mother at a young age, and me and my mother were really close, but wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here, and we can all say that. I guess everybody has a mother, so hopefully you have a good relationship with your mother. Me and my mother didn't have that great relationship. We were both young, so. But I miss her now. I wish she was around to instill that wisdom and guidance that she would have had for me. But anyway, so my mother was great when she did a lot of things for me. Now that I see now that I didn't recognize when I was younger, And I think mothers and women in general just they make the world go round because they're life givers. They're our support system. They do everything for us. Basically, if you don't have a relationship with your mother, or if your mother didn't raise you, or she passed away when she had you, or something happened along the way, not every situation is perfect. We all owe that to our birth mothers because they did it. The other, it got done. And we're all here, so appreciate that fact. I have with me Paul, and he's got some wisdom and knowledge on the subject as well, so maybe he can shed some light.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on the show. Appreciate you. So that's kind of funny. My mother's birthday is in June. My mom's birthday is June 4th, and she turned 84 this year. She wouldn't want me to say that, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Right.
Happy birthday once again, Mom. But yeah, in June is full of birthdays in my family. We have two of our kids, and my mom, and I'm trying to think of who else is in June. My niece and her mother. So there's like 4 or 5 different birthdays in June for us. Going back to the original topic, mothers. Yeah, very fortunate to have my mom still with us. She is not only my mom, and this is kind of funny to say, but she ranks up there with being my best friend. Her and my wife, which when people used to say, "Oh, my mom's my best friend," or "My wife's my best friend," I always kind of questioned it and said, "Really? Okay." But no, I can understand it. I am. My wife is definitely my best friend. My mom's my best friend. I talk to my mom at least once a day. I'm 58 years old, and I kind of consider myself to be a mama's boy still. And I'm definitely my mother's son. I definitely have a lot of traits that I've gotten from my mother, either through DNA or through osmosis, just living with her all these years. And so, and it's okay. I'm a self-proclaimed mama's boy. Usually, sometimes that can have a negative connotation attached to it with a little stigma, like, "Oh, you're 58 and you're still a mama's boy." I just love my mom. I respect my mom. I've always done that with women. I've done that with people in general. And nowadays, I've noticed it's more of a commodity to be friendly and to be not rude, and especially with if you're a man and there's a woman involved. I don't know where that went. I don't know where civility went, but it went somewhere in the last 15, 20 years.
It definitely has. Social media has a lot to do with that, maybe.
Yeah, social media, even TVs, and again, at TV. Um, by the way, kids, TV is YouTube, but it was in your home and it attached to these little rabbit ear things, and you didn't have to worry about a buffering dial or waiting for a commercial to play, but you did.
Much simpler times.
It was much simpler times. Even then, I think even appliances, you think about it, TV, um, it knew when it had its time. Do you remember at late at night, depending on what station and what year and everything else, it knew when not to be rude anymore. It would the last thing you would hear in its programming day is usually Stars and Stripes Forever or the the American anthem or something with a flag waving in the background, and then and it would go off for
Just
6 hours.
just with the snow.
Just a bunch of snow. It would go off. It would go away. TV would go away for 6 hours.
So we wake up in the middle of the night, turn it off.
You wake up in the middle of the night just to turn it off, right? And so, yeah, things were simpler there in a lot of ways, and it is a throwback. But yeah, moms are definitely in that throwback era for me. I think of all the stuff moms used to do. I even think about silly things like Stouffer's commercials. What was it? Stovetop stuffing. Like the two kids always talking like, "Oh, what are you gonna? You want to eat over at my house tonight? I don't know. You want to eat over at my house? What are you having? We're having stuffing. Like stuffing was the entree.
Right. Yeah.
If you were having stovetop stuffing, everybody came over.
Stove stuff. Yeah, that's the good stuff there.
Another thing I like is my friend of mine, Patrick, would say he was 91 or 92 when he passed, but he was as sharp as a tack, and he could tell you like, oh, the year was 1953. It was a Tuesday. It was slightly cold outside with a breeze, and he could basically smell the cookies baking in the oven when he's describing a story. I mean, it was that resonant with him, that what do you want to call it, transcend you into that moment. I mean, he could literally smell stuff in the air. He could feel the weather. He could tell a story. The man could tell a story. And I think a lot of stories like that from my childhood, remind me of my mom. My mom was a single mom in the 70s. And so I remember her doing everything with us boys. Everything from going to amusement parks like Great America, that's about to close in Santa Clara, to baseball games. I remember going to A's and Giants games with my mom.
Still an A's hat on today.
Right. I got my A's hat on today. And then I definitely, like I said, I'm definitely my mother's son. There's a lot of traits. We like to collect different things. She collects like Coca-Cola and M&M's memorabilia. I collect music memorabilia, comedy stuff, LPs, electronics, different technology. So we both have the collecting bug. That probably started off as a child in the 70s with her and driving around town, and on a Saturday there was nothing like going to a couple garage sales. So garage sales. Another thing that I remember doing with my mom was when you went to the movies, we went to drive-in movies, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Drive-in movies. My mom would always, we would drive the station wagon, and sometimes she would back into the spot so that we could sit in whatever you want to call it, like the rumble seat that faced out the back window, so you could watch the movie. So there's a lot of memories and to do with my mom. It seems like everything in my life is wrapped up with my mother. And so lots of fond memories, lots of stuff like that. What do you think about when you think about your mom in childhood and early on?
Well, that's what I have. That's what I have in my mind. Those early childhood memories, with her, my years, and she was introduced me to a lot of music. Remember, she went to a Elton John concert and a Leonard Skinner concert here in town, here in Oakland, and took me to check my own concert in Hollywood Bowl one time when I was younger.
At least your mom took you to cool concerts. My first concert with my mom was to a concert. The artist was David Soul. Do you remember who David Soul was? He was Hutch from Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, he was son of baby.
Yeah, don't get hooked on us, baby. There you go. So that was the one and only one-hit wonder of David Soul, and we saw David Soul. It was my first concert, and I went to Circle Star Theater.
San Carlos. Yeah, I remember that place.
Circle Star
Yeah.
Theater.
I saw Zap and Roger there, and Sly Fox and the Jets, and then we got to go backstage and hang out with them for a while.
And that
On the
was a
bus.
great little theater because
It
it was a theater
was.
in the round. It
Yeah,
was a
it was.
circle. It
Yeah.
was the stage was in the center and it spun.
And I couldn't tore it down. I couldn't believe that. You know what I mean?
I
I saw Patti
remember
LaBelle there.
I remember the day they were tearing it down. They had all the news crews out there, and they were actually um, somebody had remembered something that I guess who was it? It was Frank Sinatra
Oh wow.
had done a drawing with like a Sharpie pen of a clown on the brick wall in the green room.
Is that
And
right?
so before they knocked it down, they stopped and went in there and chipped that out of the wall and kept it.
Oh wow. That's pretty cool. I guess. I mean, yeah. Take a little piece with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I remember the Circle Star for a lot of reasons. That was a
Yeah.
cool place.
I loved it there. Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. Heck yeah.
So yeah, so at least your mom took you to cool concerts. What else do you remember your mom doing?
You know, I mean, my mom was she always knew how to conduct herself in a professional way.
You're right.
She's talking about that. She's always nice and neat. She always looked took care of herself. You know, wouldn't look her best at all times. You know, so I remember that. I remember that.
Was she just a? Oh, I don't want to say just a. Was your mom just a? See, I did it just again. Was your mom a stay-at-home mom? Hey, I did it without the just. That was pretty good.
She was not.
So she had a
No.
career also.
That's why we only had like 5 good years ago. Because most time, a lot of times, like my grandparents or my father or just somewhere else.
What did she do for a living? What was her vocation?
Well, she had various. Okay, but basically she drove. She did driving jobs around Los Angeles. You know, like off four counties, Orange, San Bernardino, Riverside.
Like buses,
So
like
she drove her own personal vehicle, and she did like a lot of delivery jobs. She did like a lot of catering jobs, things like that.
Okay.
A lot of deliveries.
and LA is a big county.
It was. It took a lot of time up. You know what I mean? She always she would me around when she was doing real well. You know, so
So you grew up in LA area
I
originally?
grew up between LA and the Bay Area. Yes, my grandparents were up here. My parents were down there.
That's funny. So I did a little bit of time, and I say time like I was doing jail or something, but I did a little bit of
It happens.
living time down in LA, Orange County area.
Okay.
And that was because of my grandparents' business in the 70s. I remember going down there at different times. And I probably remember it most because we got to go to Disneyland when we were down there.
Yes,
So,
great place.
but yeah, no. And then even my grandfather lived down there for a while. My mom's father lived in LA for a while. And so we have some ties to LA and LA County a little bit. So you went between the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and LA,
Yeah.
and now you kind of that way now, but you go travel other ways, right? So
Yeah, usually I still travel between Los Angeles and Los Angeles. I still go southern Nevada sometimes. Most of northern Nevada, though. Northern California.
do you have family still in LA?
I do.
Okay.
Obviously, but she was with my auntie. She's in the early 90s now, and she's here.
Right. And so I want to bring this down for you. Just a little.
Oh, so sorry.
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure we hear you totally. So, all right. And so I noticed today we're talking about moms, and today's your show is the Mind of Mine, which the acronym is MOM.
Oh, yes, that's true.
So
She's always on my mind.
she's always on your mind.
I
And
wish
so,
I still had her. So.
absolutely. So, what kind of things remind you of your mom?
Well, you know, music. She just too like different kinds of music. So music in general, and just like sports. She's a sport fan and Raider fan originally, became a Buccaneers fan. You know, just driving around at nighttime, especially. You know, she's driving at night, just lights and stuff, and just from Los Angeles, she just from Las Vegas, she just those kind of things. You know, so I just she was very attractive lady. And I remember I used to hit on her at the mall, so I used to yell at her and stuff. So we talking about mom. You know, I remember things like that. She had a lot of male friends though, so I was too to do anything about that. You know, but she was very popular. I remember those kind of things. I wish she was around now so I could talk to her about stuff. You know.
Absolutely. No, there's times like I said, I'm very fortunate that my mom's still around. We talk every day. But yeah, I think I would be constantly talking to her. It's kind of like, oh, I don't want to say that, but I'd be constantly talking to her if she wasn't here. And so, um, by the way, thank you for listening, watching. This is the Mind of Mind show. Uh, Dizzy here wants you to actually uh, send us an email. Tell us about what's going on with you in your life and maybe your interaction with your mom. Send us an email at edstudiosonline@gmail.com. Again, that's edstudiosonline@gmail.com. And let Dizzy know your experience with your mom or what you might want to see on future shows here on Mind of Mine. And so I want to make sure you guys had all that contact information, but we're back here now. Um, so where do we go from here? We talk about our moms. We've talked about a little bit of that. Um,
There's other kinds of moms too. There's mothers. You know what I mean?
right,
There's mothers. Some moms are natural moms. You know what I mean?
right,
Some moms are like adopted moms or other form of mothering. You know what I mean? So there's also that kind of mom.
right. So
Mothers.
there's moms that play, or there's people that play the part of mom all over the place. There's even single dads that play the parts of moms. There's
Correct.
stepmoms. There's foster adopt moms. Even your grandparents can play the part of mom sometimes.
In fact, in my case, it did. The mom was adopted, so so that's played right into. That's why when she was young. She was young. She was a teenager when she had me. A young teenager. She had just turned 14 when she had me. So all that comes into play. My father's a little older than that, so all those kind of things come into play. And everything, as far as your life goes, it's all shaped by those kind of things.
Right. So there's not just what you want to call bio moms. There's moms that are doing the job and they're doing it every day. And they're even like you were just saying, there's foster moms that are doing it, and they do it sometimes on a temporary basis, which is crucial for kids in these formative years if they've lost their parents for one reason or another. Even we're looking at the stuff in our country right now. People are being locked up in alligator Alcatraz, and there's people without their parents. And so that's a very scary thing for a child not to have their mom with them. I mean, no matter if you're a little boy or a little girl, first thing that happens, the first thing you want to scream is mom. Right? You're running and you fall and you skin your knee. It's mom. Your mom's coming to the rescue. And so I think that's a basic human instinct, is to be looking for your mom, and it's not even human instinct.
Exactly.
Look at this. Look at animals. Animals have to have their mother. We were just talking about how important it is for your mother to teach you skills. In the animal world, it's crucial. It's life and death. So mothers play a big role in our lives. Even if you don't have one, think of some of the people that are maybe your heroes or people that you look up to or admire. I can tell you right now, they probably had a good mom,
Yes.
right? It's always kind of a reference point. If somebody's doing something good in our community, or if they're acting human, and if they're doing the right things and they're being right, it's like, oh, that person had a good upbringing. They must have been raised right. Um, I really think it really depends on. I mean, there's untraditional families, or there's ones that are not the standard of mother, father, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, blah blah blah. There's so many types of family mixes, but if there's a mom involved, usually she's a crucial part of that scenario. And I don't mean, oh, she's the one that makes us food. She's the one that gave birth to us. She's the one. it's all that and more. And so, um, salute to moms. We love you.
Well, definitely. Couldn't do without them.
Exactly.
Right.
So we're gonna check out this. You guys will like this. We'll be back right after this in just a moment. All right, guys, we're back here in studio. Dom, thanks for having me along for the ride.
Thanks for being here, Paul. Appreciate it.
Now you wanted to talk some baseball.
Well, yeah, because just noticed you had the A's hat on, right?
Yes, sir.
You know,
I am a Bay Area sports fan. What is it? Sometimes people are born to win. Sometimes we're born to lose. Bay Area sports fans have that habit of being a little bit of both. The Giants seem like they get into the series every couple of years. The Warriors are doing pretty good. But when I was growing up, man, Bay Area sports fans was a hard thing to be, other than maybe a Niner fan, where we got to see, five times in the Super Bowl in the '80s. But other than that, we've always been, there. I guess there's little times where we have our place in the sun. Talking about A's, I remember going to A's games in the '70s, and we were good in the '70s. We made it to the World Series a couple times. So it is kind of nice to be a Bay Area fan once in a while, but sometimes it's hard. It's tough. So where does your heart lie? Because you're all over the place, right?
Well, my grandma was born in 1911.
Okay.
So basically, I grew up in the same house my mom grew up in. Was also in Oakland.
Right.
My grandpa was probably a part of the organization, so he had a gas station in Oakland. So basically, I grew up around the Oakland A's and Raiders.
Right.
So the Niners were there. I always rooted for the Niners. But always Oakland first.
Oakland
At
first.
least for baseball, football. All my other lines are down already.
Well, and then I was going to say, then the Raiders. The Oakland Raiders went from Oakland to L.A. to Vegas. So they've been all over the place since I've been around. Were you down in L.A. for some of those years?
I was.
You were.
I was down there a couple times, and I went to I say five or six games total down there. Most of the last couple years they were there, but went to Dallas one time, against the Niners one time, and
I'm gonna have you pull your mic a little bit closer for me.
I
No, it's okay. I just want to make sure that we're hearing you.
Yes.
And so, what is the feeling of being a Raiders fan down in LA? Is it different than it is here?
It is, because down in LA, it's more like just the overall, like tailgating experience. For example, it's like down there, it's just kind of more like a. I'm not gonna say it's a gang, but it's like more like a gang mentality, though.
Right.
It's like in Oakland, the best tailgates I've ever been to in my life. Buffalo, New York was good, but Oakland, the best tailgates I ever had in my life, and anybody was welcome. Didn't matter if you had a Napoleon jersey on, you were still welcome as long as you weren't there for the wrong reasons. You're welcome. You can come drink and do everything with us, as a fan.
Right. As a football
cool.
fan, it wasn't like, you're not a Raider fan, get out of here.
Yeah, LA a little bit more. Even if they're Raider fans, you might not want to be welcome at that party. You know what I mean? So a little bit different as far as that goes. And the fans are just but the fans, they're both passionate. Both places, they're both passionate, and they're true fans, in my opinion. Once you're a Raider fan, if you do change, It takes a lot. I know it's gut wrenching to do that.
Now, when was the last time you went to a live sporting event? If it was baseball or
The
football?
last sporting event, I went to a baseball game earlier this year.
Okay, cool. Giants game.
An A's game.
A's game.
A's game in Sacramento.
Oh, so you went to the Rivers,
For-
the river. I call them the River Rats, the River Cats.
For one time, yeah. When it used to be an A's affiliate, I used to go there. I was 2 or 3 years before that. When it used to be an A's affiliate,
Right.
minor team. And that's the A's went there this year for the season. Went to the second game against the Cubs. Just take some pictures and stuff. Just pay my respects. And basically, probably last time I go to a game. I'm going to go to Vegas. I've already seen a live game in Vegas. They played there for a little bit in the night. One year they played like 6 or 7 regular season games there, and I went to one or 2 of those in Las Vegas. So I've already done that. When they go back, if they go back again, I'll go to another game. But it's just,
So that's cool. You've actually got some of that experience. I know that even the A Stadium, they're up in the air about that in Vegas right now.
they are.
And so that's why if this is your chance, if you're still an A's fan and you are living in Cali, then go to Sacramento, go to the River Cats Stadium and check them out because now's the time, right? So
Yeah. Overall, and like the fact that they were there, but overall, it wasn't a bad experience. It was a lot more packed than I remember it ever being before.
right.
It was like, a lot of people were there. But I'm not sure if everybody had a good time or not.
You're not sure if you had a good time or not?
I'm not sure if everybody had a good time. Everybody else had.
Oh, if everybody else
I mean,
had a good
I didn't stay that long. I was there for like maybe the first inning or so. I just wanted to see the first inning and head back home. I wasn't really that impressed
Why did you only go for like the first inning or so?
because they were passing out schedules that day and get some pitches and stuff like I said, and I actually made the newspaper.
Oh, so you went there for more of the event of it than the game of it.
Yeah, I just want to pay my respects, like I said. So they are still my team. And I'm never going to be another team's baseball fan, but the fact that both in the way they left and stuff, and the owner and all that kind of stuff, I'm not really supporting him, but I support them.
Right.
So that's what that was about.
Well, that's nice. That's cool. So, and you do plan on going to check them out when they're in Vegas at some point?
Well, yeah, 'cause all the renders of the stadium I've seen are amazing. So I gotta check something like that out. Like when the Raiders went to Las Vegas, I had to check that out too, and that was a pretty amazing stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad that they're making these sports teams some really nice stadiums as long as it doesn't push anybody else out. Like we just had we've had Levi Stadium now for what, 5, 6, 7 years or something like that. And now they're starting to push well, we don't know if they're pushing them out, but Great America is having to move because their lease is up and I guess trends are not what they used to. People would rather go to a Niner game for $100 tickets and $50 parking and this and that instead of going on a roller coaster or going on a water ride or
I disagree. I disagree personally. I'd rather go on a roller coaster anytime.
I think they're uninterchangeable events. I think when you want to go to a game, you want to go to a game. When you want to go to an amusement park, you want to go to an amusement park. And when you want to go to an amusement park, hopefully it's not just some carnival that's set up in a parking lot of your local department store. I mean, it has to be. And I'm not going to go to Disneyland every year or whatever. I wish I could. But and if quite honestly, if I lived in LA, I'd probably have a Disneyland pass because I would want to go multiple times a year.
Oh, yeah, you go to a lot of different parks with that pass. That's a good pass to have. For sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they're uninterchangeable events. I think that kids still need to be kids. Adults need to be kids sometimes. And I think sports is sports. It stands on its own. If you love sports and whatever sports you love and you want to go see them, you should be able to go see them. But it shouldn't be one or the other.
Well, my whole thing about it is this: is that the Niners are there for 10 games max a year. Unless they have playoff games.
Right.
And so because of the parking conflict is the reason they're doing this. That's the main reason they're doing this. And so I just don't get that part. Why can't they just kind of something that keeps Great America open? But they sold it a couple years ago. I guess that's what they're trying to do. Make the
Actually, I guess their release is coming up, and so they don't want to renew. And I guess that means I don't know how long their lease is, but I don't think it's yearly. I think it's probably 20 years or 10 years.
When they sold a few years back, I think they had 10 years left on it or something like that.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes, I'm not sure how long ago they sold or whatever it was, but it was 10 years at the time, I think. 'Cause I was,
Oh, so they were looking. You think they sold it with the knowledge that their lease was coming up, and when the lease was up and they sold it, they'd be out.
I believe so. It's kind of like also. There's another
Well,
one.
then that's fine because even so, Great America, I believe, originally opened in 1976, and at that time it was Marriott's Great America. So it was owned by the Marriott Corporation. Matter of fact, it had a Marriott hotel adjacent to
It
it.
sure did.
And then it went probably 20 years later, it went to Paramount's Great America and Paramount's Great America. That was right around the same time as I think it was like Beverly Hills Cop 2 or 3. And they actually
Also
filmed
it
that there.
Yes, that's right.
They filmed scenes or parts of that there with Eddie Murphy. Then now it's kind of owned by the Warner Brothers people. I want to say it's Warner Brothers because all the characters are Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes.
Yeah, maybe it's possible. Kind of lost track.
Because that's originally where it was back, even when it was Marriott's Great America, it was all about Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes. Yeah, so
and they walk around and stuff.
and they walk around and stuff now. Well, yeah, again, even amusement parks are becoming so commercialized that they're even the parade. I saw different parts of the Pride Parade here in San Francisco, sponsored by Apple. And it's like, I'm sorry, instead of having like one of the Looney Tunes characters walking around Great America, you're going to have an iPhone, like an iPhone 16 dressed up in a costume or something. I mean, it's kind of lost on me.
Everything's corporate now, huh?
It's all corporate.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, I even found out my favorite roller coaster of all time, X at Magic Mountain, is going out of service. We're not going to have it anymore. So
Which one?
X. It's called X. It's at Magic Mountain, Valencia, California. There, Southern California, LA. Magic Mountain, my favorite park. My favorite roller coaster, X, is I guess out of service. Going to be out of service soon. I saw an article about it.
Really?
I'm kind of sad about that. It's one of those hanging roller coasters.
Oh, yeah, you get suspended from it.
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
You're not singing in the car.
Yeah, I liked it.
So, and I haven't gone to Magic Mountain in so many years that I can't even remember going to Magic Mountain.
Also, my favorite water slide is there too. It's a real tall, water park right next door. A real tall water slide.
Is it one that you like drop almost?
Yeah, I love it. I love that ride.
Really?
I love that. It's my favorite water slide.
Really? What's the name of that one? Do you
I
know?
think it's called Hurricane Harbor or something. Maybe that's
Hurricane
or
Harbor.
something like that. I know it's right. It's one of those names. I get mixed up with Great America.
I think you're getting it mixed up with Great America because I was going to say there's a Hurricane Harbor there, but it's the raft thing. It's something similar called that.
Yeah, it's right next door.
Got you.
It's not part of the park. It's not like Great America. It's part of the park.
When was the last time you were at Magic Mountain?
About 2 years ago.
Okay. I've driven by it, so many times in the last dozen years, but
I just get a pass every year.
and that's that. So if you guys like, at least in California, if you guys are into roller coasters, that's the roller coaster park. All their rides are mostly coasters and thrill rides and stuff like that.
And I had the pleasure of going. I got a chance to go to Cedar Point in Ohio a couple years back.
Okay.
And that had some of the best roller coasters in the world there. It was always on my bucket list. I finally made it to Cedar Point. It was great. And then there's a beach, and as soon as you get to the park closes like the week before Christmas, the week before school started, late August, and there were no kids there.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
basically, the park was just available to do everything you wanted to there. The whole
And
day.
Cedar Parks owns a lot of different
Yeah, they
parks
own-
because I wanted to say
they
they
own
have
Great
a
America.
part of Great
They
America.
own Great America.
Isn't that it?
Yeah, Cedar Park. That's what it is.
That's what it is
That's what it
because
is.
I
Cedar
remember.
Point.
Yes, you're right.
Cedar Point is the stuff. And then after the park, they closed the park for the day. The beach right next door. They were partying the beach. And that was pretty amazing. It was, I gotta say, I've had some great experiences, great parks in the country.
Yeah, and see, so again, your show today is about moms, family. These are things that hark to yesteryear, and you can smell the cookies in the oven baking. But it's funny because you instantly transcend into being a kid every time you get on a coaster, or every time you're waiting in ride. Just the being anxious of I can't wait to be on the ride. Oh man, I got to go on the scary ride. And so a lot of those things remind me of childhood and family and mom. Like I said, my mom would take us to places like Great America. Um, I remember going to different carnivals. I remember, you know, uh,
Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk.
Santa Cruz
Santa's
Beach Board.
Village.
Yeah, Santa's Village, and where's that? That's right by Santa Cruz, Santa's Village. And so all those kind of things really kind of they are a throwback. They're a shout out to like yesteryear.
I remember Playland. I mean, I went there once, but I remember Playland. I didn't really get a chance to go there too often. I remember going there once I was a little kid, man. And I wish I would have got a chance to go there more.
And I think I have some memory of Playland, which was here, and it was at Ocean Beach in San Francisco, up by the Cliff House. And I think I have some memories of that too, but I don't remember what it is, and I'll have to ask my mom because I want to say it was something like our relatives were in town. But it was a one-off thing. It was so long ago, and I just kind of have visions of it, and I don't know if they're my visions or something I've seen, like some video I've watched or whatever. But I feel like I was at Playland too on Ocean Beach. So, well, we're getting close.
And then the zoo. I remember going to the zoo. I went to.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the L.A. Zoo and the San Francisco Zoo. Well, my favorite zoo of all time was the Oakland Zoo, though.
I still have my zoo keys.
Do you really? Oh wow.
Do you remember zoo keys?
Yeah, the little plastic ones, right?
Yeah, the little plastic ones. So
Yeah.
I have one for like the San Diego Zoo or something,
that?
and I have
Okay.
one for San Francisco.
Oh, I love it.
And it was a little plastic key. Every time you went up to a different habitat, like if it was the lion habitat or the polar bear habitat, it would almost like us being kids, we would run there and who could put the key in first and start it. And so we would run ahead of mom and go up there and put the key in it and turn it, and it'd be like, the lion sounds roar, or whatever. And then it would say, oh, their normal home or their natural home is in the Sahara Desert or blah, blah, blah. Or they grow to be this big and this old. And
I forgot about that, but yeah, I do remember that. Yes, I do remember those keys, and I also remember at Disneyland, for example, they used to have tickets. Each ride had tickets, different letter tickets. I remember that.
you
too.
used to you would buy a ticket book. You would get into Disneyland for whatever the fee was to get in, but then the rides weren't free. You got a ticket book, and they were lettered tickets. So there was like an E ride or a D ride or a C ride, and like the C ride might have been like a child's ride, like Mr. Toad's ride or something like that, or the Disney or like the Dumbo elephant ride or the teacups. And then like the E ride, if I remember right, was like the bigger entertainment thing. It was like the haunted house. It was like Pirates of the Caribbean. It was Space Mountain. It was the Matterhorn. It was the bigger thrill rides.
Yeah, Matterhorn, yes, and I remember this. I remember there's always never enough tickets.
Never enough tickets
had
for
to
the
buy
kind
more-
of ride that you
had to
wanted.
buy
So
more
you
books.
would always like, let's say if you were a kid, it would run out of all like the teacup rides and all the stuff you would be
Only
on.
one you could go. You could all go enough tickets or something like that.
Right. You ended up buying more tickets.
Right. That was the whole point.
And that was the whole thing. You would buy another little booklet of tickets, and each booklet of tickets would only have so many E's, so many D's, so many C's, or whatever.
Right.
And even if it was just you, your mom, and your brother, it was hard to get everybody on the right ride at the right time. And
It's weird how it's transformed now. I went to Alameda County Fair a couple weeks ago,
right,
and they don't even take cash there anymore for anything,
yeah, a lot of places don't even want to touch you.
unless you go.
You have to tap your phone on something.
Unless you go into the where they're selling stuff, like the tents and stuff. They sell stuff inside, like Mattress Firm or all that stuff.
Right.
I take cash in there, but you can't get into the part with that if you have cash. It's really not true.
So How did you feel? You've done a 40-minute show. That feels good, right?
It does feel good. It feels great.
Cool. Now you're going to be here every Monday. We're going to be starting from like 11:30 every Monday. And this is Dom, guys. I should introduce. This is Dom or Dizzy. And his show is Mind of Mine. And it's going to be a little bit of everything. Tell us a little bit about what you expect to see in the next few episodes. What you're going to do.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm talking about sports, and I'm talking about the neighborhood and the state, and how just everybody feels everything. Everything is. Feels outside, a beautiful day. You wake up, it's a good day, so we're gonna try and enjoy that day. Like, it could be your last. You just never know.
You just never know.
So
So
we're gonna try to enjoy it.
So definitely come along for the ride. Definitely have fun with us every Monday. We're going to have some real conversation. And again, hey, man, if you're waking up with us, it's a good thing on a Monday, right?
It sure is. I mean, I can't think of anything better.
Right. And so I want you guys to make sure, please, send us any questions or anything you might want to see here on Mind of Mind. Send it to us at edgestudiosonline@gmail.com. And you can send it off to Dizzy or Dom here and just let us know what's up. Again, we are doing this on a weekly. You travel a lot. Matter of fact, you're going to be sharing a little bit of your trip out to the Bay and your little party that we had.
Yes.
So there's going to be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Tell us about what you did this weekend and kind of give us an idea of what happened.
So there's this event in Reno, Nevada called Dancing in the Streets.
Okay.
They do it once a year. So I was up there watching some sports, and a friend of mine invited me to that. So I went to that, and it was a great experience. I mean, there's like 10 or 11 blocks long, and bunch of vendors out there, bunch of food, bunch of dancing, and bunch of live bands, live music, like 10, 11 different bands. So shells, it's pretty good. Any kind of music you want to listen to, it was there, and they had food, and like I said, drinks, and everybody just in a good festive mood. It was very, very, very fun. And lasted till 11 o'clock at night. It's like 4 to 11 or something. It's pretty long.
There you go. And now it's out in Nevada,
Yes, sir.
dancing in the streets.
Yes, sir. Reno, Nevada. It was great.
Awesome. So we'll see some footage from that. He went to great lengths just to. He almost lost his life getting footage for
I
you.
missed the hole. I missed
You
the
missed
hole.
the hole.
But but then again, I found the hole, but it was fun.
It's a whole different story.
It was
Get it? A
fun,
whole
yeah.
different story.
there you go.
All right, guys.
You won't want to miss it. Trust me.
So thanks for having me along. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Paul.
We also had a conversation. You had a conversation with Monica Thomas. We'll have to air that in a future episode. But until then, keep doing what you're doing, right? Tell your folks to do your shout out to whoever you want to talk to. Anybody you want to say hi to?
Everybody out there.
Everybody.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
Have a
guys.
great day.
Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your day. Make a productive rest of your week. And yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me along for the ride, Dom. And we'll see you guys next week here on The Mind of Mind.
Okay. So hi there, everybody. This is Diz. My show is Mind of Mine. Today we're gonna use somebody else's mind. Monica is here. She has a few questions for me, so we're gonna start with that.
Absolutely. I'm a professional radio announcer, and I realized I wasn't going to be able to change the world fast enough just talking on the radio. So then I started a podcast, and I've been a podcaster here at Edge Studios Online, and we talk about sexuality.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I wanted to kind of ask you some questions, turn the tables on you a little bit, and just, see why you decided to join the ranks of podcasters. Like what you wanted to change about the world.
Well, I think a lot of things about the world need to be changed,
Yeah.
and maybe this is one way of going about it. I'm not sure exactly. I don't have all the answers. I don't even have all the questions, but it seems like one way that seems to be working for some people. So I thought I'd
Totally.
give it a shot.
Yeah. And I think, what I love, investigating is how we can, inform people and help them see how they can become more compassionate, more loving, because this world needs a lot of healing. you
No,
know?
no doubt.
Right. And then, like, the more information you can give them to help them make better choices and be nicer to each other, then we can, kind of help us, help everyone become more loving and like, oh, see another point of view. The Bay Area is amazingly diverse. Let's try to connect with everyone. Okay, even if you're just a person walking down the street, how are we all making the world better just by being here?
Well, that's it. Just by being here, we are making the world better. But you gotta use what you have
Yeah,
and bring the world. You can't hide it. You can't keep it to yourself.
that's
You
right.
have to share it with people. You know, you
That's
have to share
right.
it the right way too. You don't have to just force it on
Totally.
force on them.
Yes.
Just do it a little at a time. I guess,
Yeah, consent is key.
you know.
And non-coercion, right? Like
Yes.
not forcing someone to think of not yelling at them. There's so many better ways of, communicating your perspectives.
Whatever they're comfortable with, right?
Exactly right.
Okay.
Totally.
Nice. I
Yeah,
totally. That's great. Positive feedback there.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm so excited that you're going to be joining the ranks of podcaster right now.
Well, I appreciate being a part of it. That's very awesome.
Oh, my pleasure.
That's very much nice. So I don't know what that's rough stuff. That's rough stuff. Now I don't know. So, what's your favorite experience?
Oh,
I
well,
mean,
every time I get to do a show and interview someone and learn their, like, how they make some really bizarre thing safe and fun for everyone, like all the people involved, they have a winning experience if they're the top, if they're the bottom, if they're, life coaches, if they're, nervous, if they want to, promote themselves, like all these people have these different agendas for what they want in life. And so I'm just trying to help them boost their agenda and then also like share their work and who they are in the world. And that's my gift to them is that, I edit their show and I put them on, the websites. We do Facebook Live and all kinds of things. And, obviously you can do part of that too now that you're here. And it's such a gift because then you get instant access to, people who, want to change the world too and are interested in what you have to say.
okay. So we recently just had three. I just recently had three birthdays this last week.
Yeah.
My mother's birthday was on the first. My ex's birthday was on the 5th. She just passed away earlier this year. And they were
Mm.
both herbalists,
Mhm.
but then we had 4th of July. So how'd you celebrate the 4th of America's birthday?
Oh,
How'd you bring that?
America's birthday.
How'd you bring that in?
I cleaned my house and I went out. Really, I was just taking out the trash actually, but then I was like, that's a lot of fireworks. I should go look at them. And then I just went outside my house and like looked up and it was like a brilliant fireworks display. Bam, 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 all over the sky. Like literally just outside my house because I live in Oakland, and the fireworks were on.
Wow.
I didn't even have to try.
That's great. And
Yeah.
that's one thing. See, I grew up in Oakland myself, and like I know one thing about the Bay Area itself. 4th
Right.
of July, it actually starts about the 1st of July. Goes to
Mm.
about the 8th of July. They have fireworks.
Oh yeah,
They
Juneteenth.
they have all kinds of fireworks here in San Francisco
Yeah,
and Oakland too. The Oakland A's used to be there. They would have 4th of
totally.
July fireworks every year.
Uh-huh.
And along the fireworks that Oakland has, and
Right.
Chinatown in San Francisco.
Oh
So
yeah, I love
it was
Chinatown.
a great display of fireworks. And
Totally.
uh,
Oh, and the dragons. Oh
yes, those are nice too.
yeah,
So I mean,
beautiful.
I don't know much else about fireworks. They have them everywhere, I guess nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I would say the fireworks display that I was the most impressed by was actually, not sound. It wasn't like explosions. It was just lights painted in the sky. And I was living in Japan at the time.
Oh wow,
And it was like a dragon flying through the air and was just so beautiful
that sounds cool.
and silent.
Really.
And like a dragon, like a real dragon come to life, but in the sky. I was really moved and
I
impressed.
was gonna say that sounds pretty impressive right
Yeah.
there. Yeah. You know, you don't see something like that every day, right?
Right.
You know, hey,
Yeah, and especially in such an interesting environment.
was it very
for
colorful
that.
and everything too? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, multicolored and
Japan's pretty creative.
silent and beautiful, and it's wild.
Japanese people are pretty creative overall. I
They
guess.
are pretty magically inventive.
They are. They really
Yeah.
are. So, do you have any more questions for me?
Yeah. So, how are you? Yes. So, are you going to interview your mother? And if so, what questions are you going to ask?
That's a great question itself. Okay, 'cause my mother passed away many years ago.
Oh, I
I was still in
see.
high school, but
Oh, yeah.
you know,
If you could interview her now, what would you ask her?
what what her favorite thing is.
Oh, yeah.
What her favorite thing is. I'd like to know. I knew some things about her, but I didn't really get to. I really never really that close.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, every July 1st comes around. I
Totally.
always do anything that was all her favorite things to do. Listen to her music,
Yeah.
watch her shows, things like that. Just think about her.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
same thing with my ex.
And that way you can be close to her, even though, have you ever dreamed about her?
I actually have, yeah.
Yeah.
And I used to write my dreams down all the time.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes I still do, but I used to do it all the time. And I'd make stories after that.
Well, our dreams are so powerful. It's because you're in a subconscious state that you have more access to your subconscious mind.
That makes sense. That makes
Hmm.
sense. How come you only remember your dreams when you wake up, Jordan? Why is that?
Well, I often think about them before I really get up and start my day. So I do a little dream review, like, oh, what did I just dream just now? And then I remember it because in the interstitial space between waking and sleeping, we're in this kind of brainwave state of, usually we're in beta brainwave state. We're like, answering questions and using our mind, but we're in a state of relaxed attention when we're going into the dream state. That's alpha brainwave state. And so you can more clearly remember your dreams. And so I do this as a practice every night where I go back when I'm trying to fall asleep. I go back to the images that were in my mind when I was falling asleep last night. Or even if I, have like a particularly remarkable and beautiful dream, like I'll go back, to that dream, and then I'll remember the images in my mind, and I'll sort of see them in my mind, and then I can sort of kiss or touch that brainwave state, and then it helps me fall asleep more easily and dream more positive things.
Do you ever have recurring dreams or deja vu kind of thing?
Sometimes I have, yes, I have sometimes deja vu, and then I also have this thing called pre-ja vu, where I sort of I think this is going to happen again. That's sort of a joke, but I mean,
Okay, that's
that's in reality land, right? But in dreams, I try to go back to my dreams and see if I can have the same dream, I'm often dreaming of water or the whales or oceans, because I'm from Alaska and I have a lot of imagery in my mind around that. And also dreams and dream interpretation, especially because I have a show about sex, often my dreams are about water, and dreams are associated with water in kind of dream interpretation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's sexuality is water.
Right. Do you have anything to do with astrology at all?
Well, I
Are you
dabble
a water
in
sign,
it.
for example?
Yes, I'm a Gemini.
Okay. All right.
I I love to communicate, obviously.
Right? But you're good at it though. So if you're good at something, you might as well
Yeah.
do it, right? That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
I thank you for being here.
Oh,
Okay, I appreciate your time.
yeah, thank
If
you.
you have anything else for me, then that's
Oh, yeah, keep on trying to change the world.
okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, you do the same, okay?
Will
You
do.
you've already done your part though. I appreciate that. Okay, very nice. Thank you. All right. So that's our show for today, and we'll be back soon. Thank you.